Watch this if you want to date an athlete. Hello ladies, thanks for tuning in. Before we start, please like and subscribe, and don't forget that you can have free chapters of my femininity guide, how to bag the high caliber man, simply by checking the link in my description box. So I want to make this video because a while ago I was watching a video of the roommates. I don't know if you know them, but like there are two guys from the US, from Houston I believe. They usually have guests on their podcast, like they have great guests, and I believe their channel is more for men, but I think all people watch it, and that's the same thing for my channel as well. I noticed that I have both genders watching me on YouTube. So yeah, I believe it was with Stefan Speaks. They were talking about women, and I remember Harvey saying, so it's the black guy, saying, yeah, some women don't want to date me because I'm not an athlete, I'm a YouTuber, and they want an athlete. And they had female guests as well, and they said, yeah, it's true that we want athletes, blah blah. And I made polls on my social media, and yeah, I have some women as well who absolutely want an athlete, and it's very common, especially in the US, to want to date athletes. So yeah, I want to talk about that a little bit more so that you can know what to do if you want, a high profile man, and also how those men think. You might wonder why women want an athlete. If that's not your case, it's okay to want someone with money, but you can also get, a CEO. One of the reasons why some women absolutely want an athlete is like the prestige. When you date an athlete, you are like invited to the match, you get to see him, you get to see him play, and you look cool. For women, looking cool means looking attractive, because it's important for women to know that they are attractive. Like, women validate themselves through that. Men validate themselves by their ability to get sex, but for women, no. A woman thinks, oh, I'm attractive, so I have value. It's sad, I know, but I keep it real. This is how we are wired. So I think it's like when it comes to dating an athlete, what those women want is not just, a man who is high profile. They also want the lifestyle that goes with it. So you see, they want the lifestyle that goes with it, and also the validation that goes with it. So you see, when you date an athlete, you are invited to sit on the front row. You can bring your friends as well, and it makes you look cool. And for women, looking cool is not like being popular in the sense where I have many friends. For women, looking cool means being attractive. And when you date an athlete, it means that you are attractive. This is what it means. And women validate themselves by their looks. Okay, it's sad, I know, but I share what I know about the female psychology as much as I share what I know about the male psychology. For men, it's different. Men validate themselves through their ability to have sex. For women, knowing that they are attractive, that they get hit on a lot, that's enough for them to know that, okay, I'm attractive. But for men, it's different. They validate themselves by their ability to get sex. So when a man has sex with a woman, he thinks, okay, everything is alright, I'm a man. This is how it works, but you also need to detach yourself from that, because this is like a very superficial layer, and we're gonna age. Your body will change. You can have an accident as well, lose a leg and all of that. So you can't rely on your looks only to validate you. Okay. But yeah, we're gonna talk about that later. And also, when it comes to dating an athlete, you have the lifestyle that goes with it, and most of those men are extravagant in the way they spoil you. They fly you and all of that. Sometimes you're like, in a private jet with them, and you look cool. That's not necessarily the lifestyle that you're gonna get with a doctor or a surgeon. And also, like, doctors and surgeons are busy, whereas athletes, they have off season. They are more available. So some of those athletes will date you even if you don't have money and you aren't famous yourself, and others won't date you if you aren't as rich as them. So you need to know that it's not because they are athletes that they came from wealth, and many of them didn't. Some of them came from broken families, so they saw them work. Some of them think, yeah, if I have to be with a woman, she needs to be as rich as me. And a lot of people think like that, right? And you also have some men who don't have much, but they don't mind giving you everything they have. All of that stuff comes from your relationship with the money. It's the same thing for everyone, right? We all have different values and different life experiences when it comes to money, and traumas as well. So you don't have to look like a model to have sex with those athletes. Like, many of them can be in your DM if you have, a large followings, but doesn't mean that they're gonna commit to you and do everything right. And you can also see them, you see that models and all of that, but it doesn't mean that they worship those women. It's more about like, okay, look who I'm with. That's it. I don't know if you saw that video of Katia Ellis Henry when she was talking about her ex, and I believe that ex was Kuz, the NBA player, and now he's dating Winnie Harlow. And she said, yeah, I was always telling him, don't forget to buy me flowers. And at some point, someone asked me, does he treat you like a queen? And when I thought about it, I realized that he wasn't. And this is the thing that I want to tell you. A man, like you see a lot of, Instagram couples like that with, Instagram models, with athletes and all of that. But it doesn't mean that their relationship is based on love. It's just like, okay, I have someone, she looks pretty, everyone knows about her, she has a fat ass and all of that. So yeah, we look good together, but it doesn't mean that they are in love. So yeah, keep this in mind. Men don't fall in love like that, okay? You have specific things to do to make them fall in love. You have a specific attitude as well to have, and I talk about it in my newsletter, and I give you 3 chapters of my book, How to Bag a High Caliber Man in 12 Weeks, and all you have to do is join my mailing list. So yeah, there is that. Now when I say that, you are thinking like, okay, if I want an athlete, he won't fall in love, blah blah, because he has so much options and all of that. No, that's not what I'm saying. The good thing is like those men still have the same brain than their ancestors. It means that they're wired for the chase and need to understand their psychology and need to understand how they work. Most of the women out there are beautiful, sweet and all of that, but they don't understand the male psychology. They don't understand what are the triggers to make men fall in love. But not you, because you're watching this channel. You need to work on your strategy, you need to work on your femininity as well, you need to work on your self-respect. Like you can't get back with a cheater, for example, okay, even though he's high status. And this is something that is very common with those men, not because they are cheaters, not because all men are cheaters. No, that's not that. It's because those men don't value their relationship. And one thing that causes those men to not value the relationship, because they know, okay, I cheated once, she forgave me. And when you forgive cheaters, they continue. They think, oh yeah, she forgives me all the time. I just need to buy her flowers, send her, a nice gift, a nice Cartier necklace, and she's gonna forgive me. This is how they think. Men are very simple. The way they behave with you comes down to how you let them treat you. If you let them know that, no, I don't accept cheaters, and you really end the relationship, you're gonna start attracting men who take you seriously. I know that some women absolutely want to date an athlete, and what they do is that they slide into their DMs. So you can't be doing that, because they might say yes to sex if you are attractive or they are on a dry spell. And you might think, wait, those men are on a dry spell. Yeah, sometimes they do, like you still need to remain feminine. So yeah, make sure you look good and go where they hang out. Now you might be watching this and tell yourself, yeah, but I want an athlete, how can I date one? Well, first of all, you need to make sure that they initiate with you, and they're gonna initiate if you are part of their cycle. That's very common. It's very uncommon that they date someone who isn't like part of their cycle. I don't mean rich, I mean part of their cycle. So yeah, you need to find ways of getting closer to them. It can be like, in the clubs that you go, and also like, I know some women will slide into those men DM, think, yeah, but if I don't do that, they won't know that I exist. And it doesn't work like that. You can't be sliding into their DMs, because this is masculine. You need to make sure that they are the one initiating. So if right now they don't initiate, it just means that you aren't part of their circle. If right now they don't initiate, it means that you aren't part of their circle. I don't want you to think, yeah, they date women who post bikini pics, sexy pics all the time. Well, they date them, but it doesn't mean that they commit to those women and they take them seriously. Okay? So yeah, pay attention to your personal brand, to your image as well, if you want to be taken seriously. Maybe you're thinking, yeah, if I want them to slide into my DMs, I need to post bikini pictures all the time, sexy pictures all the time and all of that. It might work in the sense where they might slide into your DMs for sex and all of that, but it doesn't mean that they're gonna commit to you and value the relationship, because for that you still need to be feminine and play your cards right. So yeah, keep in mind that those men are like all men, in the sense where they still want a feminine woman, they still want a woman who make them work for their love. They don't want a woman who put them on a pedestal. They want a woman who put herself on a pedestal.